Thinking about turbo in your 3G V6 Eclipse? Cool. Do these mods before you do.
I'm the type of dude who will not remain nameless. I'm the type of dude who is headed for greatness. I'm the type of dude who will make changes. I'm the type of dude.
What's up, guys? T-Croc here. Welcome to the vlog. Going off of the previous video of the 5 myths of turbo in the 3G V6 Eclipse, this one I'm going to highlight the essential mods that I personally think you should do before turbo in a 3G V6 Eclipse. If you guys are liking this video or this series, like and subscribe. Now, first mod, this is gonna contradict the previous video, but for me, I would actually rebuild the motor. Now, if you think about it, these cars from 2000 and 2005, so they're pretty old, over 20 years. Even though I did mention that if the compression is good and everything else looks up to par, that you can turbo it, but for me, I want that reassurance, so I would actually just tear it down and build it. And if I'm going to tear it down, then I'm just going to put everything brand new in there. If you guys didn't know, the stock rods in the 3G V6 Eclipse are actually forged. They come from the VR4, so those are good for about 500 horsepower, give or take. Now, it's the pistons that are probably one of the weak points. So if it was me, and I'm not building a full-blown drag car, this is gonna be a daily, I'm gonna drive it around on the weekends, I'm gonna beat on it a little bit, but this is not full track car, then I would tear it down, freshen it up, replace the pistons with forged pistons. You can go with reputable brands, CP, JE, Wesco. All those are very good reputable brands. Now, I don't believe that they make them off the shelf, so I do believe you have to put a custom order in. Now, I have actually ordered through CP. I actually ordered a custom spec. This is where, if you want, if you're going to an engine builder machine shop, tell them your goals, and they will tell you and recommend what you need to do. And you can actually probably just order through them. Now, since that we are tearing it down, that means I'm going to be refreshing everything from head to toe. I just like that reassurance. So cosmetic head gasket, depending on what kind of build you're going for, is going to tailor to what kind of pistons and kind of what the engine's going to be built for. The heads, I would just freshen up, and I would probably leave everything OEM spec for that. And then you got your typical head gaskets and all that. Water pump, maintenance stuff, spark plugs. Yes, go into the motor, freshen it up. Make sure it's you have a clean start.
Just to dive deeper into this, as you're rebuilding the motor, I would actually also look into ARP head stud kits, ARP main stud kits, ARP rod bolts, ACL race bearings, ACL rod race bearings, ACL thrust washers, Cometic head gaskets, and bottom end gaskets. Those are just going to solidify a better built motor. Those, in my opinion, are very crucial parts to actually include into a rebuilt motor, especially if you're going to do any kind of force induction, turbo, or supercharged. So I would not skip that step.
Now, since that motor is already out, that means the transmission is out as well. So I'm going to go ahead and address the clutch. The power that you're going to be putting down with the turbo setup, the stock clutch can't handle that. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade that. There's so many brands. ACT, Exetti, Comp, Centerforce, you name it, there it is. You just need to basically look at what the torque and horsepower specs are, and you need to go for there. Now, personally, I've driven puck clutches, like 6 pucks, 4 pucks. Those have like a harsh engagement. If you can get away, I know Exetti does have like kind of like a street disc that's rated for higher horsepower. The engagement for that is a little bit better. So that is something that I would recommend, is upgrading the clutch. Since the motor's already out, upgrade the clutch. Again, going back, transmission's already out. And if you have not upgraded your differential, you need to take care of that. 2 brands that they make is Quaife and WaveTrack. Now, I've made a couple videos on this. I do know it's kind of hard to get a hold of WaveTrack and Quaife differentials, But I did see a company on Facebook maybe like a week or two ago that was trying to do group buys. So just keep your eyes out on that, but definitely upgrade that differential. It is a glass diff, and when I pulled mine out to upgrade it, I was on a intake and exhaust header setup, and when we pulled it out, it was missing teeth.
So since we have addressed the clutch, I would also address the flywheel since we're already going to be removing that. Personally, I like the Findanza Light Flywheel. Now, this is some people like it, some people don't. The Light Flywheel does make your RPMs go up fast, but it also, on the counter side, it will drop them very fast as well. So some people do not like that as for driving or as a daily driver or as in racing. But I personally think it is a great investment. So I personally have one and I have no issues with it. I would also recommend ARP flywheel bolts since you're removing those as well.
Again, highlighting that the motor's already out, so it's time to take care of the motor mounts. Now, if you have not upgraded your motor mounts, this is something that you want to do. Prothane or energy suspension, I think it's definitely Prothane now, because energy suspension had their rear motor mounts had holes in them, and what was happening was they were getting squished within the power. So get the one that is solid. So definitely take care of that. You will destroy your stock mounts with the power of that turbo. Now there are more mods that you could do. You could upgrade your exhaust, you could do your fuel system, you could do cooling, you can upgrade your radiator, you could upgrade to an oil cooler. I kind of would wait for those because, for one, if you try to upgrade to an oil cooler, think about making your hot pipes for your exhaust for the turbo setup. You're probably gonna have to reroute those, so that's why I said instead of spending money on oil lines and then having to re-spend some more money on oil lines, that's why I didn't mention that. Your coolant setup, yes, you could actually do that. I typically will recommend trying to stay with the OEM fan setup and just keep that shroud. Some people have been able to get away with it. On my old setup, I wasn't able to keep the driver's side fan, but I ended up putting two fans in the front as push fans, and that actually was working pretty well. I didn't have any overheating issues. So that's it, guys. Quick video. I just wanted, because I knew the previous video was going to spark some controversy, especially when I say that you can boost the stock motor, and I think people are not going to understand when I say stock motor, and I mean 100% healthy. If it was me and I'm rebuilding or doing a turbo setup, I am definitely going to rebuild that motor with forged pistons. Now, this video is just tailored to the 5-speeds. I do have a automatic video already, and I will link that. And that came from a gentleman who actually has a 3.8 Myvac turbo, and that was his recommendations first. I figured I would do one for the 5-speed guys. And that's it, guys. Like I said, quick video. I just wanted to just get this video out as well. Just like I said, there will be some controversy, and like I said, these are just my opinions. I will see you guys on the next one.